Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
This is Beijing Bound, the countdown to the 2022 Winter Olympic Games. I'm Michael.
I'm John. Slightly different Beijing Bound in this episode, where we usually profile Team GB athletes going for glory at the Games, which get underway this week. But we couldn't turn down the chance to hear from a Winter Olympic legend, and someone else who's hoping to rewrite folklore, or maybe a Hollywood sequel to Cool Runnings anyway.
Hi, I'm Benjamin Alexander, and I'm Jamaica's first ever alpine ski racer to make it to the Olympics.
Hi, I'm Dudley Stokes, founding member of the Jamaica bobsleigh team, four-time Olympian, and most recently mentor to Benjamin Alexander, Jamaica's first alpine skier to qualify for an Olympic Games.
Benjamin, I'll come to you first. What does it mean to you to be going to a Winter Olympics and to be representing Jamaica? That must be pretty special.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. I think we can all look back at what Dudley and his team did in 1988. And without a shadow of a doubt, they are the most famous bobsledders in history and created a legacy that has had representation at almost every single Games since. And I'm just surprised that someone else didn't think about trying to expand that legacy into other sports. What I hope that I'm doing right now is the first step in the legacy of the Jamaican alpine ski team. And I hope that just how the bobsledders have been around now for 34 years, I hope in 34 years' time we'll look back and say, wow, we've had an alpine ski team every Olympics, and we're doing pretty well now because of what happened back in 2022. So I'm very proud to represent Jamaica. I'm very proud to continue on the legacy of Dudley and his team. And I'm also relieved that it worked out and super excited to get into the Olympic Village.
What does it mean to you to be representing Jamaica and representing that heritage, if you like?
Look, the biggest export from that island is Bob Marley reggae and its musical influence on the world. The second biggest influence is its power and its success in the Olympic Games and its character in the Winter Olympic Games. So getting the opportunity to be a part of that story, to be mentioned in the same sentence as Dudley and Usain Bolt and all of the other incredible athletes that have come out of that island or originated in some way from that lineage of the island is just fantastic.
And Dudley, you must have enjoyed the attention that you and your fellow bobsleighers had for the last 34 years, but it is time for a sequel, isn't it?
Yes, there have been times when the attention has been good. But, there is room to expand. But there's room to improve on what we have done already in bobsleigh and room to expand into other sports. And this is how it happens. Somebody gets a bug, picks up a passion, and then starts pursuing it. And then if that person is focused and, rooted in reality, you have a chance to create something.
Now, take us back, because 1988, the Calgary Olympic Games were very special, certainly here in the UK, because There was Eddie the Eagle Edwards, that
Right.
huge celebrity. And there was you guys as well. I mean, did you realize at the time the achievement that you were making?
Certainly not myself. I didn't understand what all the fuss was about, as we hadn't done anything going into the Olympic Games. I didn't understand what the fuss was about when we crashed. I thought that'd be absolutely ridiculed going back to Jamaica. That wasn't so. People were very happy. And I did not get that. And then when they said they were making a movie, I was flabbergasted because I didn't see what the story would be in a movie. But then all of those things happened. One of Benjamin's advantages is that he's very savvy to the promotional necessity and opportunities and works them just as hard as he works on the slope. It took me years to understand that side of what we do. And I'm coming around now in old age.
Benjamin, we're days away from the opening ceremony. Are you feeling very Olympic, to coin a phrase from the movie?
I am feeling very Olympic today. Exactly, yeah. I mean, that movie is just so incredible. And every time someone plays it or asks about it, they have a pause to say, have you had enough of the references? How does it feel? I say, I love it. I love seeing snippets of that movie come up every time I'm introduced. I have no problems with the association, and I'm honoured.
Tell us how you started alpine skiing, because obviously Northamptonshire is home, although you're representing Jamaica. So how and why this dream? How did it begin?
Right. So I was an international DJ before putting on a pair of skis. I spent 10 years on the road. I performed across 5 continents in over 30 countries. And at some point along the way, I was invited to DJ at a ski trip. And this was the first time I saw up close and personal my friends doing the sport of skiing. And I just thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And I vowed to myself there and then at this trip, which was an annual trip, that I wouldn't come back unless I was part of the skiing contingent. And so I set about finding ways to start to book DJ gigs that were in the mountains and in snowy places. And 2 months later, I had my first lesson. So that would have been February of 2016. And then just kind of went on a hyper-accelerated crash course of learning how to ski, only with the view of being able to keep up with my friends. Now, as a half-black person, in a sport of skiing, that half-blackness makes me the black representative of any ski group. And with people knowing of my Jamaican heritage, and with people knowing full well of Cool Runnings and what Dudley did in 1988, there will always be references on the ski slopes. And one of the things people kept saying was, you should go to the Olympics. And I guess I just took that a little bit too seriously, because here we are now, and that's actually becoming a thing.
And Dudley, as much fun as everyone has had following your story, and the movie is still one that when it comes on the television, you stop what you're doing, even though you've seen it a million times before, you continue to watch it. It's a great movie. It's a brilliant story. Actually, to get to an Olympics, to go to 4 Olympics, is still a monumental achievement for you, isn't it? It is something that very, very few people on this planet will ever get the opportunity to experience, because you have to be at a level to get there.
Yeah, that's very true. And, in doing that, pursuing those goals, we were 98 and 92, which were sort of formative Olympics for me. In 94, we returned the best performance from a minor team, best finish for a black driver in an Olympic competition. And in 1998, one of the proudest things that I had done is that I qualified for the games in Nagano completely on the A circuit, racing on the World Cup circuit and getting into that top 30 without using any B circuit races. So the second 2 Olympics were really solid performances for anybody in the sport. And when I consider that my Olympic career and my bobsleigh career about the same, 10 years, and when I was considering retirement, speaking to another athlete, an Latvian, and he told me that he'd been driving for 16 years and he'll be at the next Olympics. So that kind of put things in context for me in terms of what I've achieved. I haven't spoken about it much, but I do think now is the time to use it. 1, what is possible, but 2, how you make it happen.
Yeah, so I just quickly want to add something to what Dudley said, because he's always incredibly humble. I mean, Dudley outperformed teams with 10x, 20x his budget, teams with a legacy in the sport. And Dudley never talks about the fact that he was I don't know if I can say that word, kick butt. I don't know how to say it in a PC way, but an incredible helicopter pilot. And he brought with him hand-eye coordination, which is a big part of the reason why he was in the team. But yeah, look, this is not a handout. It's not like Dudley and I are going to show up to the Olympic Village, and just because we have a Jamaican passport, there's the charity of being given a spot. There is still the need and the necessity to qualify, to show that you are capable in the sport. And so that's really been my journey for the last 2 years. I've skied 450 days in this last 2-year period, and that number would have been much closer to 700 had it not been for the challenges that were thrown in front of me because of the pandemic. And it's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get me here. And yeah, I think a lot of people don't fully understand that that's what's going on here when a smaller nation is trying to at least participate on the world stage at the Olympics. There's still a lot of work, and there's still a lot of grit, determination, and suffering, as Dudley said to me at the start, required to get there.
And Dudley, what did you see in Benjamin that made you want to get involved in this part of the story?
It took me a while. So Benjamin pursued me over social media for many weeks, managed by my daughter, so I didn't have to actually, but she kept insisting that you need to talk to this guy. And I relented, fearful, because Olympic tourism is not a thing that I am a fan of, and it happens a lot around the Winter Olympics and with exotic nations. So I reluctantly set up a call with Benjamin, and within 5 minutes, complete turnaround, because it doesn't take long for you to understand that you're dealing with a high-functioning individual. He has a first-class mind, and he had things thought through. So I decided, I was excited because I haven't seen this many times over the years. And so I thought that this is something that I can get involved with. I had this idea that I would be working with him on his mental performance and how we should look at his physical performance. I knew I didn't know anything about skiing, so that was out of the question. But as it turned out, I learned as much as I may have imparted to him in those areas, and mentoring would be a much better description of what happened. And the mentoring involved mostly listening and him bouncing off plans and options, and me maybe seeing if there's an option that he hadn't got in. And that's how we've been working. And I'm really happy it's worked out for Benjamin. And I look forward to seeing him in the Olympics and afterwards.
And Benjamin, for you, before we finish, what is the fairy tale? What is the reality with what happens in Beijing? And maybe those two things are the same for you. I don't know.
Yeah, I think they're quite similar because it's already happened. The qualification was the fairy tale and is now the reality. The important thing is to give a good showing at the games. And look, the minimum qualification criteria by definition is 16 to 20 seconds off of the winner. So there's no fairy tale where all of a sudden there's a podium or a top 10 finish in sight. But as I said, this is really about laying the groundwork to set the Jamaican Alpine ski team. And maybe we rename it the ski and snowboard team, because that's really what this is going to be going forward. But just setting the foundation and the groundwork to really do big things in the future. And then I'm also really keen for that to extend to other smaller nations that don't have access to snow, and to encourage more countries to participate. We have 85 countries participating in Alpine this year, the first time it's ever been over 72, I believe. And let's get that number to 100. That's what the Olympics is about.
Well, what a privilege for me to speak to you both today. Thank you for your time. I look forward to watching Cool Runnings too.
Thank you.
And download our weekly Anything But Footy podcast for all the latest Olympic and Paralympic news, interviews and conversations. We're on Apple and Google Podcasts. Just search Anything But Footy.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.